Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Top Coin. Today, we're diving into an intriguing piece of currency that's not only a collector's item but also a symbol of West African heritage and history. We're talking about the 1000 CFA franc coin from Burkina Faso, minted in 2016. From its historical significance to its market value and collectability, this is a coin that tells a story of a continent's economic journey. Let's get started. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1000 CFA franc coin from Burkina Faso, let's take a moment to understand the currency itself, the CFA franc. The CFA franc is a currency used by 14 countries in West and Central Africa, most of which are former French colonies. It's officially split into two versions, each pegged to the euro, and issued by two central banks, the West African Economic and Monetary Union, known as WEMU, and the Central African Economic and Monetary Community. Burkina Faso is a member of WEMU, meaning it uses the West African CFA franc, abbreviated as XOF. This currency is used by other countries such as Benin, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and Togo, creating a unique economic zone for these West African nations. Now let's zoom in on the star of today's video, the 1000 CFA franc coin from Burkina Faso, minted in 2016. This coin is special for a few reasons. First, it's one of the few high-denomination coins issued in the CFA franc zone. Typically, CFA francs are issued in banknotes for denominations above 500. So having a 1000 franc coin is unusual and unique. The coin was issued in celebration of cultural heritage and was meant as a limited edition release rather than a widely circulated coin. It was created as a commemorative piece, often aimed at collectors who appreciate both African history and coin collecting. Let's talk about the design of this coin, which is where its cultural significance really shines. The 1000 CFA franc coin from Burkina Faso has a highly symbolic design. On one side, you'll typically see the image of a key Burkinabe figure or national icon. Often, it's something that represents the country's agricultural strength, traditional values, or independence. Burkina Faso, meaning land of incorruptible people, is a country known for its rich cultural heritage and strong sense of identity. This is reflected in the design elements of their coins. The national emblem, which often appears on official currency, usually includes the tools and resources symbolic of the nation's spirit, including motifs that celebrate Burkina Faso's agricultural industry. On the other side, there's usually a symbol representing the entire West African Economic and Monetary Union. This might be represented by the acronym WEMU or the logo of the central bank. Together, these designs reflect both Burkina Faso's national pride and its place within the broader West African economic community. Why is the 2016 edition of the 1000 CFA franc coin significant? For that, we need to go back in time. By 2016, Burkina Faso had undergone major political changes. In 2014, the country experienced a popular uprising that led to the resignation of longtime President Blaise Compaoré. This was a turning point for the nation as it ushered in a period of renewed hope and a desire for reform. The 1000 CFA franc coin issued in 2016 can be seen as a reflection of the resilience and pride of the Burkinabe people. While the coin doesn't directly commemorate these events, the era in which it was minted holds great historical significance. Collectors see it as a symbol of this period of transformation, making it a sought-after item for those interested in African history and culture. Now, let's get into the market value and collectability of this unique coin. Unlike regular CFA francs that are still in circulation, the 1000 CFA franc coin from 2016 is treated as a commemorative item. This makes it particularly interesting for collectors, and because of its limited mintage, it's relatively rare. On average, you might see this coin selling for around $30 to $50 if it's in good condition. However, prices can go higher depending on the coin's condition, its specific release details, and where it's being sold. Coins with little wear, original luster, or that are part of complete sets with official certificates might fetch more. Some collectors value this coin for its cultural representation, making it more than just a currency piece. It's a small piece of West African art and history. For coin collectors with a particular focus on African numismatics, this coin is especially valuable. So, what makes this coin so special? It's not just a metal or its face value of 1000 CFA francs, it's what it represents. The 1000 CFA franc coin is a reminder of Burkina Faso's place in West Africa, its economic ties, and its cultural strength. It also brings attention to the CFA franc itself, a currency that has shaped the economies of many African nations. This coin is a conversation starter, a piece of Burkina Faso's modern history, and a tribute to the region's rich traditions. For collectors, owning this coin is like holding a piece of African heritage in the palm of your hand. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of African currency and the fascinating story of the 1000 CFA franc coin from Burkina Faso. Whether you're a collector or just curious about the history of African economies, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to hear about more unique coins from around the world. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more intriguing stories from the world of currency and history. Today, we're diving into the story behind a unique coin, the 50 franc CFA coin from Burkina Faso, minted in 2017. We'll explore the history of this currency, the significance of the CFA franc in West Africa, and whether or not this coin could be worth a surprising amount of money in the collector's market. Coins have an incredible way of capturing history, culture, and sometimes even political messages. Whether you're a numismatist, a person who studies and collects coins, or someone just intrigued by rare and unique currency, this video has something for you. Let's start by understanding a bit about where this coin comes from. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa, bordered by Mali to the north, Niger to the east, and Ghana to the south. With a rich history and culture, it's a place that has seen many changes, and its currency reflects that journey. To understand the value and significance of the 50 franc CFA coin, we first need to know a little bit about the currency itself, the CFA franc. The CFA franc is a currency used by several countries in West Africa, including Burkina Faso. It stands for Communauté Financière Africaine, or African Financial Community. The currency was initially introduced during colonial times, back in 1945, by the French government for its colonies in Africa. Today, it's still used by many countries in the West African Economic and Monetary Union. Burkina Faso, along with its West African neighbors, shares this currency. And although it has changed a lot over the years, the CFA franc remains an important aspect of everyday life and trade within the region. Let's zoom in on the star of today's video, the 50 franc CFA coin from 2017. This coin is more than just a piece of currency. It's a work of art that features symbols representative of the people and culture of Burkina Faso. On one side of the coin, you'll likely see inscriptions that indicate its value, 50 francs. The other side often includes a design reflecting the culture of Burkina Faso, possibly with national symbols or elements of local heritage. The design elements often include emblems that represent agriculture, peace, or unity, which are core values for many African nations. This specific 2017 mint may feature the signature markings associated with the West African States Mint, which produces the coins for countries using the CFA franc. But why does this 50 franc CFA coin have such historical and cultural significance? To answer that, we need to look at the economic history of Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso's economy has historically been driven by agriculture, with crops like cotton and millet. The coinage used in this region reflects the lifestyle and values of the people. The CFA franc has been a crucial part of the region's trade for decades, and coins like this one symbolize a stable, unified currency across multiple nations. This shared currency is significant because it shows the interconnectedness of the region. The 50 franc CFA coin represents not just Burkina Faso but also the solidarity among West African nations that use the same currency, promoting trade and economic stability in the area. Now, let's talk about what collectors love to hear about: the market value of this coin and whether it could be a hidden gem in your collection. The 2017 50 franc CFA coin is relatively new, so it may not have the high market value of older, rarer coins yet. However, collectors are drawn to it for a few reasons. First, coins from Burkina Faso are somewhat less common in international markets, adding an element of rarity. Second, the cultural significance of the CFA franc attracts collectors who appreciate African history and currency. On popular coin collecting websites and marketplaces, this coin might sell for just a few dollars or euros depending on its condition. But keep in mind, coins like this can increase in value over time, especially if they're kept in pristine condition and become harder to find. Certain mints or limited edition CFA coins have been known to sell at a premium. If you're thinking about buying or selling a 2017 50 franc CFA coin, here's what you should keep in mind. Coins in mint condition are always worth more. If a particular coin had a limited mintage, it can fetch a higher price. Some collectors might pay extra for coins that tell a specific historical story, like ones minted during significant events. As interest in African currency grows, so does the value of coins like these. Now, the big question: will the value of this coin increase over time? The answer is, it's possible. Coins from regions like West Africa are gaining interest in the global numismatic community, as collectors and investors alike appreciate the history and story behind them. As demand grows, so does the potential value of the 2017 50 francs CFA coin. While it's not worth a fortune today, it could become a valuable part of a collection over the years. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the fascinating world of numismatics, coins like the 50 francs CFA from Burkina Faso remind us of the rich history and diversity of currency worldwide. It's not always about the immediate market value. Sometimes, the real value lies in the story the coin tells and the history it represents. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history and potential value of the 2017 50 francs CFA coin. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into the world of coins and collectibles.